I am wearing either no bra or topless for probably like 80% of the photos that you've taken of me. I love to be in your studio with my tits out in a feminist way. Yeah.
I'm taking pictures of you. I'm taking pictures of everything.
Box 1.
Oh my God, this is like Christmas. Oh, wow. This is so beautiful. Okay. Keith and the girl.
This is April 16th, 2014. And to my knowledge, this is when you enter the archives.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Look at this little baby.
Yeah.
Wow. This was one of my first like big deal shows, I think. I was like an open micer for sure at the Comedy Cellar being like, this is it, baby. I'm going to be a star in 2 to 3 years. Oh, wow. Look at this group.
Yeah. So this was a big show. I don't remember if this was a fundraiser or.
I think it was part of Keith and the Girl Week. Keith
Okay.
and the Girl, the podcast that used to have like a week-long podcast celebration. Comedians would all perform. Their fans would come from like all over the world. It was really cool. A lot of drinking and a lot of hooking up was happening. I love when nerds hook up. It's really cute.
Yeah. All right. So I think we have some stuff of you on stage that night and some stuff with friends.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Yep. Still drinking. Andrea Allan, not sober. You caught the tail end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's very few people now in the scene that know this girl who was fun but needed to go to AA. And she
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
This is so cute. Wow.
Oh, yeah. I see.
Yep. Lots of tongues out, lots of like insecure young person face. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm so wacky. I don't know how to be in my body, but I'm working on it.
Yeah.
But this girl, get the fuck out
Yeah.
of here. I'm obsessed with this photo. Wow. The
Yeah.
coat, the beer. I really loved Andrew Dice Clay conceptually, not values-wise,
Right.
when I started. So I feel like I was definitely doing like a Dice impersonation, you know, the coats, the like rock star energy. Oh, I remember being so excited about this photo. Wow.
Yeah. It is a good one. It's a really cool entrance into the archives.
Yeah.
You know, we've got you on stage and I think you had a good night that night.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I'm sure my stand-up wasn't amazing, but I had such confidence in the beginning. It's so funny. I think a lot of comedians just like the delusion that you need to pursue this as a life path. In the beginning, the delusion is the strongest. And you're just like, I killed it. And then if you look back at that tape, you'd be like, oh my God. But I had a really good time for sure.
Right.
Okay. Yep. You remember I was mentioning alcoholism and delusion? I don't know if there's like a better photo for that. Pointing with the beer. Ooh. A lot of pointing. There's also like so many, you capture so many friendships and like epochs of life, which is such a cool thing to be able to see.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's harder and harder for me to take a group photo these days. People, like I always want to get photos of people backstage with like who all was backstage at the same time.
Sure.
But like very quickly, people start trying to get like an individual headshot, and I'm like, guys, I have a whole studio
Yeah.
for that. Yeah.
Be with your friends.
Yes.
Comedy's so, the camaraderie is really a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
This is, yeah. Also, you can see from this photo that I'm yelling, which I spent probably the first 5 years of comedy screaming, which I loved, but had to kind of calm down on. Oh my God.
Yeah. Do you think part of that was just learning how to be on stage?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I was supplementing my inability to write type jokes at that time by having like a big stage presence, which I feel like comedians usually fall into like one of those two categories a little more, like stage presence, X factor or whatever, or like really tight joke writing. And they're both really important, but usually if you have one, the other, you've got to like work. I mean, myself, I had to work a lot on the other. And some freaks have, oh my, sorry. I just cut you smooth.
This is the Creek Awards, August 23rd, 2014, at the Creek in the Cave. Yeah.
She's wearing false eyelashes. She's sleeping with a comedian at that time and wanting to seem cool in front of everybody. Wow. Oh, yeah. This is an old buddy of mine. I always was kind of like a fashion girl in comedy, which is an interesting thing. There's not a lot of us.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
A lot of t-shirts and jeans.
Yeah.
Hooded sweatshirts.
Everyone's comfy.
Sneakers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, I switched over to sneakers a long time ago. Just 'cause I'm on my feet. And
yeah, you're running around for hours.
yeah, I'm not wearing high-heeled boots for you guys no more.
Yeah. But when you do every once in a while, I'm like, oh, Mindy's like hot. Like, I know you're hot, obviously, but like, I'm like, whoa, right. Mindy's like a hot bitch. Yeah.
Thank you. Can we name that?
Yes, Mindy's a hot
bitch.
bitch. You heard it here
Yeah.
first. Obviously, you see her, you know.
All right. And then this next photo, it's a show called Feminasty, which
Yes.
is that you?
That was me. I
All right.
produced that show.
This is January 19th, 2016.
Look at the abs. I want it on record. Everyone look at the ab indent in that fucking photo. Also, this is kind of the beginning of tiny shirt statement jacket, which I had a little bit of statement jacket, but moving forward, I think I'm wearing a tiny shirt for pretty much every single photo you take. Wow. Yeah, this show is one that I produced with a female friend and my podcast co-host at the time. And I booked like all of the female powerhouses that were in comedy. Bonnie McFarlane, I remember Justy Dodge, Corinne Fisher. God, I'm forgetting. There's so many good ones. And it was my first like big show and we sold it out and it was like such a cool night.
Yeah.
And I really like was so green. And in retrospect, I'm like, this was kind of a crazy thing to do, but it worked out. Take your risks, people. Take your risks. Yelling. Mm-hmm. The red smoking jacket. Again, booze. Wow. Okay. Or maybe seltzer actually here.
Maybe.
I'm not quite sure. And here it is.
Yeah. So this is one of our favorite photos. Drop it down for the kids. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This is one of our faves. I don't even remember how we got into this situation, but it's just Andrea sitting on a table at the
Village Underground.
And she's wearing this coat. It's just perfect. And she's already so comfortable on camera.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this girl versus even the first round of photos from the Keith and the Girl event. Different lady, for sure. Which is cool to see.
Yeah. And in a relatively short time, I think we've jumped, a couple of years here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I remember when you sent this photo, I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm like hot. Mindy's hot. I'm hot. Everyone's hot.
And now we just have to live with we're probably not ever going to top it.
No, God, no.
Yeah.
No.
And that's okay.
That's life.
Yeah.
We move through life. Enjoy your youth. It's wasted on the young, which is true. But yeah, what a sex pot.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then this next photo is from July of 2017. This is you being normal in a headshot.
Dude, this is the only headshot on record of me being normal. And thank you for capturing it. Do you want to know something so funny about this photo?
Yes.
So when my now husband was showing photos of me to like people at work, like Googling me, being like, this is the girl, I took this photo and I posted on my Instagram once as a bit. I wrote anal sex in huge letters on top. this photo because it looks so wholesome.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, how funny. The anal sex photo with me in the headshot is the first one that came up at his fucking engineering job
Oh, no.
with like his adorable, female friend being like, oh my God, this new cool girl I'm dating. Boom. Commercial headshot, anal sex.
Oh, no.
But also, so even with one wholesome photo, I managed to
Yeah.
filth it up.
Yeah, I think we did this photo of you as a little bit of a strategy for, like, if you wanted to act or, like, just so we had it in
Commercials,
our
yeah.
back pocket.
Yeah.
But then, as you can see, we did not stay there for long,
No, we
and
did
we
not.
eventually went to the photos that we wanted to do.
Sorry for the cultural appropriation of the kimono. I'm just saying I apologize. Actual land acknowledgement on the kimono. Oh, wow. I do love this photo. Yeah.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with this one. I think I painted that
You
in
did?
real time.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone, Mindy is also a talented painter. Among many other things, you contain multitudes. Yeah, I remember this shoot well. It was like, yeah, probably the first time I had like kind of long hair and I was rocking the Cher look, and these photos are dynamite.
Yeah, but you're already comfortable on camera here, and
Yeah.
we're already having fun in the studio where it's not really about making you comfortable. It's
Mm.
about like, what do we like? What
Mhm.
would be cool? If it's a situation where I'm bringing out the paint cans,
Yes. Oh, that makes me feel like you're having fun.
then like,
Yeah,
yeah,
we're
I
doing
mean,
it.
these days I'm maybe a little more prepared and we have the studio a little more tricked out where the
Yeah.
painting is done before you arrive. But I will say, I mean, that's been the joy
Yeah.
of all of this is I do feel like a little bit of an artistic sandbox with you guys.
Sure.
And like that's like that's like the point,
Yeah.
I think,
Yes. Yes.
is just like how much we play around with it. And when you've known each other for such a long time and you can just shorthand it and
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway.
You are very good at making people feel like themselves. You have such a good like photographers. Obviously, your art form and your ability to take photos is the thing, but the personality of the photographer, especially for woman, like making you feel comfortable in your body, telling you if something like looks a little weird, like the amount of times a male photographer has done the flat sidearm during performance or has gotten me being like, and they think that they're like, "Oh, you look alive." And you're like, women wanna kill themselves when they have a photo of, like, side chin, and, like, I understand that that's our body in motion, but it's, being perceived all the time, no matter how confident you feel, it's still difficult, and you make it so much easier.
Oh,
You're
thank
such a
you.
lovely spirit.
Thank you.
Speaking of spirit,
Yeah, I love that one.
another maybe one of my favorite photos of myself. This is like a Morrissey-esque almost thing.
Yeah, I feel like I nailed the lighting on that. I feel like that one got used for a bit.
For sure. No, I
Yeah.
love this one. I wish I could use this forever. I'm just so much younger in this photo, but I also have this is before I got fake boobs. Shout out Dr. Kolker. But I love the like androgyny of like I had small boobs, so you just like my chest is pretty much flat, and yeah, I kind of look like a genderless rock star here, which I do love.
All right, the internet's being slow, so I don't know what night this is. You're dressed up as something. Do you remember what was
Yes,
going
of
on?
course, Joan Rivers, Stick or Treat.
Oh, this is Stick or Treat.
Yes. Oh my God. It was such a joy to be Joan Rivers. And also Stick or Treat for the listeners is a very famous show in New York City where comedians do impersonations of famous comedians. Oh my God. Look at this makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Buying that blonde wig, but also studying Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers is probably one of my biggest comedic inspirations. Studying her joke writing and looking at videos of her historically was so interesting and cool, especially the early Joan Rivers. You would think she would have been more, like, censored and traditional because of how long ago it was. She was, like, doing material about how people are horrible to ugly women and how, like, she wanted to have an abortion. She was talking about abortion. Like, Joan Rivers, despite her foibles, was, like, a real bitch from the jump, and I just, like, was so inspired. And, like, learning her cadence and all that stuff, like, it was really like a homework thing,
Yeah.
and it went well, and I was like yeah, it's one of these, like, homework nerve shows where, like, you bought the costume, everyone's who's cool is on it. If you do really well, everyone, like, gasses you up. If you do bad, everyone's kinda, like, not looking at you, and it is so terrifying. God, this wig.
And I love this. This is
Oh
you
my god.
backstage.
Can we talk?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that.
that wig was very hot, like, physically, not,
Yeah.
oh, Keith and the Girl-a-thon.
Yeah. How long do you think you'd been awake in that
Oh
photo?
my god, based off of my hair and a tiny little ponytail on the top of my head and the delusional sleep deprivedness in my eyes, I feel like probably, like, 18 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Keith and the Girl-a-thon was a podcasting marathon where we would podcast 24 hours. I think we went, like, 60 to something crazy. They were on mic as much as they could be, but we would, like, go in and out. People would guest co-host. Guests would come in and do, like, 15 minutes. Like, it was the craziest thing, and it was so fun because it really, like I don't know if you feel this way, but comedy at that time was very, like, party and kinda, like, fast and loose. There wasn't as many social media things where you could kinda, like, really get a little wild with it. So this event was, like, people would be drinking. There are all these, like, legendary moments. Some guy passed out in an alley outside of the studio.
Oh no.
Yeah, he was fine, but he vomited a lot. We were, like, hotboxing the kitchen, taking callers, like, it was very, like, morning zoo almost, the energy of this, and so I was working for them at the time, and it was really special. There's a lot of, like yeah, it's a lot of special memories.
Yeah, I just dipped in to document a little bit of it, but it was so fun to like run into you there.
I look
What a
fucking
treat.
nuts. I had a cucumber going,
Yeah,
again, kimono, tie-dye pajamas, cucumber, hair in a tiny ponytail, that
yeah.
shit.
And then let me see this photo. Let
This
me
is me and
see
Alyssa in
really quick.
Paris.
I had them back prints on it,
Uh-huh.
but the back print is like hieroglyphics. So this is January 26, 2018. Yeah,
Wow.
and we got little Alyssa here.
Oh my gosh,
Miss
she's
her
so
so
funny.
much.
Yeah. Yeah, this is, podcasting has always been, like, really it's now in podcasting, it's expanded so much, which I do love, but also lots of stand-ups are like, "I need a podcast," and I'm like, "I get it." The clips, that's how a lot of audiences are built, like, I love that about podcasting, but it's so, like, precious to me. People are like, "Oh, I'm gonna do a new podcast." I'm like, podcasting is my blood, it's my soul. I started listening to podcasts when I was 14. I interned for Keith and the Girl when I was in college, like, it's like a vocation to me almost, so
Yeah. And
seeing
you
this
and you do have I like this photo because this is the last photo from that little moment. And what I love about it is I feel like it's so decidedly in a podcast studio. And I love that we have you surrounded by what do you call that? Like,
Like, sound foam, like, I should probably know this, but basically soundproofing that we'd, like, stuck on the wall with probably Gorilla Glue. This was also, like, the DIY time of podcasting.
yeah,
It was definitely, like Keith and the Girl is one of the oldest podcasts in existence, like, famously, Mark Maron went on their podcast that was in their apartment, not this studio, but the original studio was in a house in Briarwood, Queens,
yeah,
and comedians would come out from their spots, and it was like a 2-hour train ride or something crazy, and Mark Maron came, one night, and he left the podcast being like, "Oh, I should do this." this is what I should do.
Wow.
So WTF was born out of this podcast, as was many, many podcasts. But this was like their apartment, you know?
Right.
And then I lived in this studio. The photo that the photo that you took of this space, I lived there.
Oh, okay.
So
But now you have your own podcast
I do.
studio.
Yes.
Can you tell us about it?
Sure. 4B Studios in Dumbo, Brooklyn. I sort of, because of the podcastification of everything, I've noticed there's like these aesthetics that are very male, you know, there's like the wood slats, the Rogan-ness, you know, everyone's drinking liquid death, everyone's talking about some bullshit they know nothing about, and I hate those spaces. I feel like they're not inclusive, you know, they're not interesting visually. And I love the video element of podcasting in that you get to like design and like make something really cool. And I just feel like there's not that much cool shit out there. And so I built what I like to say girl studio, girls and gays.
Well,
Um, and there is the wood set because we got to get the tech bros in there because they pay lots of money to talk about whatever bullshit they're ever talking about. Whatever.
but you're happy to have them there.
Yes, love to have you. Would love to talk about SEO or whatever the fuck. So happy you're ruining the world with your nothing burger bullshit, but I will take your money. That being said, I have like a pink set that like all the art I've curated from around New York City in my own collection. I have like a purple kind of pop arty one, and then I have the wood set, and it's just been a joy to build a space that I like being in and a space that I think stands out. So
Yeah.
if you're, you know, into podcasting, hit me up. Oh man, first hour recording this photo.
Oh,
Do
okay.
you remember this?
This is the thing. This project really, truly is. Guys, I don't remember it all.
I mean, it's just like amnesia.
And also, okay, if I'm gonna do a book,
Yes.
right? Okay, Andrea Allan. All right. Well, we know, and we remember the Village Underground photo where you're in the cool coat.
Sure.
All right, that's easy.
I'm honored you remember anything, Mindy. Truly, considering the amount of people you photographed, I'm honored.
So we know we have that.
Yeah.
But if I was to like pick 5 Andrea Allan photos or even 10,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like these that we just looked through. Like, I know that I love this one at the podcast, right?
Mhm.
And then there's one from the studio prior to that we
Mhm.
love. But then these are really fun as well.
Yeah.
And you just are always having so much fun on camera. You're just always giving me something to work with. And so, yeah, what do you remember from this night?
So it's funny. I'm holding the water pitcher because I had the water on stage. This is my first hour. I was so nervous. Doing an hour as a comedian is like a landmark, and it's really like a technical thing too, to be able to do a full hour, to time it out, to like string together like a narrative or cohesive themes. So I did this in the gutter in New York City. The back room of a bowling alley where so much legendary comedy has happened. And I had the water pitcher on stage to drink. And I think I threw water at somebody. I'm pretty sure. Again, I was like a very bombastic physical comedian,
Yeah.
which I am still, but not to the same degree. I was like a little bit more uh untamed.
Yeah.
But this special was so amazing. It was such a cool experience. And everyone came out, which is so like when you sell out a show, you know, with real audience, but also the comedians come to watch you, you feel this like immense pride.
Yeah.
Um,
So this is October 13th, 2018.
wow.
And so you do your first special. How many years do you think you're in comedy when you tape that first special?
I don't know, maybe 6? I
Yeah.
think, yeah. 6 is when you start to like kind of understand how to do comedy, which is like
Yeah.
some people nail it earlier, but 6 was when I was like, I like understand why things work and why things don't work.
Right.
So this was baby's first recital.
Right.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I called These, like, this is actually a called down selection of things, but like, if we had to pick one from the special, which one is it? Is it the after party ones with the water? Is there, like, one
Let's pick this one,
right?
everybody. I remember this joke, okay? This was in the heat of Me Too, this time period, and I was going through a lot of personal revelations, as I think a lot of women were in Me Too. And this joke is about this is my impression of male comedians, and then probably for about a minute and a half, I just went, wah, I want to jerk off to everybody. Shout out Louis C.K. I remember. Um, and so a lot of my early comedy was really angry because I was like a really angry person and I had a lot to be angry about. So this special was very like, I am working some shit out on a personal level. And
Right.
that moment in time, there was just there was societally a lot of like big shit happening. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm proud of myself. I will say when I look back at these shows, I was always like calling shit out. Even earlier on, like someone did like sexually assaulted me and he was within my group and I went on stage and I was calling him out in front of a bunch of people. And I'm like, look at this fucking little 25-year-old calling out a comedian that's like much more successful than them and just like watching him sweat. And I'm like, while I was insecure as a young person, I also am proud of the fact that I was not afraid to get in trouble in the name of being like, "No, you guys are just doing this? This is crazy to me." And, they remain doing it, but
Yeah.
I've only become scarier and older and witchier.
So this is someone impersonating you at Body Snatchers.
Yes.
So Stick or Treat is the show where uh, comedians impersonate very
Famous.
famous comedians. Body Snatchers was a show at the Creek in the Cave
Mhm.
where comedians impersonated their peers
Yes.
that they were actively doing shows with. So
Feelings got hurt during this, by the
a
way.
lot of feelings got
Yeah,
hurt.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe the show continues to this day.
There's versions of it now,
Okay.
but not it's moved venues, it's, like, changed hands, but, yeah, The Creek in the Cave was a place that was very indie and CBGB and kind of like a comedian clubhouse, so the show was a part of that for sure, and again, like, doing well on Body Snatchers was like, "Whoa, like, you're so cool, you're one of the top dogs." This is me impersonating my now podcast co-host, and prodigy comedian Lizzie Cassidy. Um,
Oh.
and
I
I
thought it was somebody imitating you because you look so
No,
different.
no, this is me
This is
imitating
you.
Lizzie.
Oh, that's even funnier.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so this is the other reason we're doing the podcast.
Yes.
For many years, I tried to caption as I went,
Yes.
right? But then, and it actually is around this time, when I first started doing comedy photos, you know, people were just grateful that you did the photos at
Yeah.
all. And I would like do a show, and then I was working a day job. So I would do a show at night and then I would go to work the next day. And then maybe the next night I would edit a little bit and then I would go to work the next day. And maybe the next night I would finish the edit.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I'd go to work the next day. And maybe the next night I would post it to Facebook. But getting an edit out was something that I took several days with, or sometimes maybe even a week,
Yeah.
because my day job was very busy.
Yeah.
And then it became this thing of if I didn't get the photos out the next day,
Mm.
I had administrative work I was going to have to do because people were going to text me, Facebook
Oh
message
my
me,
god.
hey, just wondering about the photos. Hey, really excited to see the photos. Oh my God, so great to see you. I'm so excited to see the
Oh
photos.
god.
And then it becomes this thing where people think that professionally you're not prompt,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, well, there's a difference between when you come to my studio and we make an agreement and we make a plan, and then I'm going to turn and edit around you in a specific time frame
Yeah.
versus I'm doing a show. I got paid $20 for the cab, and now you guys want immediate next day delivery.
Yeah.
And so part of the editing was I would caption it.
Yeah.
And at some point, I just started having to upload to the website.
Yeah.
And then I, over the years, have tried to pay people. It's a small pittance amount. It's basically a volunteer job. But
Yeah.
I try to get the edit out, and then someone goes in behind me
Wow.
and captions.
Yeah.
Right. But there's such a huge volume of photos that, I think right now they're about 6 months behind.
Wow. The invisible labor of Mindy Tucker
Yeah.
and
But
the
it's
indignity that these fucking comedians behave with.
But there's stuff in the archives that's either not labeled or it's mislabeled. And then when I go back and look at it, I'm like, oh, that's somebody being Andrea, when actually the story is so much funnier.
Yep.
So that's part of why I'm having you guys come in,
I love it.
right? Because I feel like we're going to get more figured out
Sure.
together.
So many stories.
Yeah. So this needs to be
Wow, I nailed Lizzie so hard you didn't even know it was me.
I did not know it
Yeah.
was you. I swear to God.
That's
And
so
now
funny.
when you say her name and I look at the glasses, I'm like, of course
Yeah.
that's Lizzie.
Lizzie. I'm vaping because she was like a 21-year-old who was constantly vaping. And I was making fun of her for being obsessed with her then boyfriend who sucks. So yeah, that was a really fun night. She took this is a perfect time for these photos. I used to have a joke about drinking a gallon of cum.
So you're a clean comic?
Yeah, the cleanest cum. I don't think I've ever written a clean joke in my fucking life. I will never succeed because of this, but I can't stop writing these fucking insane jokes. So Lizzie did an impersonation of me doing that joke, and she drank a liter of milk and poured it on herself, I believe. And then comes these photos.
And so on the website, this says these are album photos. And it looks like we shot these on the 15th of November, 2018.
Yep. This was the album cover for that hour, Gonzo. And this is, I hit Mindy up and I'm basically like, I want to recreate a bukkake photo. Again, trusting Mindy with my life. I would never let any other photographer make a fake cum shot. And you were like, okay, I'm going to research how to make the consistency of cum. You're like on fucking cooking websites, cornstarch, all this stuff. Oh my God. And there was another comedian there with us, Hannah Boone, and you were taking photos and she was like spray bottling the milk on my face. This photo, the first photo that you have where it's like hitting my face from the side, legendary. I'm like screaming and my eyes are closed because it does hurt. This is like the pain in this photo and these photos is real.
And it's funny because that photo was taken right about where you're sitting. Right about there.
Oh my God. Wow. Boobs out, cum shots. I'm like the porniest comedian
Yes, you
maybe
were
that
right.
you work with. I hope I take that title.
All right. Now we are at January 4th, 2019, the Bell House for 50 First Jokes.
Oh my God. The legendary, another cool kid show.
Yeah.
New Year's show. Comedians try their first joke in front of every cool comedian on stage and the entire Bell House. I love that show, and I also hate that show because it's another like, if you do great, it's so cool, it's a milestone. If you bomb, everyone saw you bomb, and you are just looking at the ground and having comedians are so anxious and we're so self-conscious and we require so much reassurance, and
Yeah.
shows like this are like, I'm sure you are fielding a lot of emotional moments. I can only imagine. Yeah, I'm lying on the ground. Of course I am. Rolling around. Who knows what the fuck I'm up to? I think this year, 51st Jokes was the first time I actually felt good about performing on 51st Jokes, which is also a milestone. Um, but it's just fun to see your peers also. And
Yeah, I feel they're really providing us with a service of everybody being able to see one another. And I love a year where like a third of the people there are like my friends that
yes.
I've known since even before I knew Pat.
Yeah.
And then a third of them are like people that I know and I've seen around that year. And then a third of them I'm like, I don't know you at all.
Yeah.
I
Old blood,
love
new
that.
blood.
I
Yep.
love it.
Yeah.
And I think they do such a excellent job with that
It's an
as
amazing
well.
show.
Yeah.
It is an amazing show. I do remember going to 51st Jokes as a fan. And there was a year, I don't know who did it. I wish I remembered. A comedian did I'm a Little Teapot. He wore a full teapot costume and just sang I'm a Little Teapot in the weirdest, most like alt, insane, awkward way. And it was so funny. I was like screaming. And then Kevin Iso had to follow it and was just like, all right, so you know what I mean? Like,
I
how are you
wonder,
doing it, Chuck?
this rings a bell and I can't remember who it is. Now we're going to have to search the
Oh
archives
my
and remember
god.
who it is.
I was so fun.
Comment if that was you,
Yes.
because otherwise I'm going to have to go through hundreds of 51st Jokes photos to figure out who it is. Was it Reed Failer?
No, it
No.
was a comedian who did a lot of, like, gag kinda stuff, but in a really artsy, like, interesting way.
Right.
Like, that could be so corny and bad, but it was
It was
so
great.
he committed so hard, and it was I was screaming. It was so funny. Um,
All right. So I don't see you. That was the 51st Jokes of 2019.
mhm.
And then I don't see you again until May 1st of 2023.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, it was a long time. That's you send in the emails, you hope you get booked, but took a little while to get back, but I got back.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So wait, this is May 1st, 2021.
Mhm.
So what'd you do during the pandemic?
Get diagnosed with bipolar disorder and go insane, and have a lot of personal growth, and this was the first comedy show back, kind of. Like, I think this was vaccines were maybe starting or we're doing shows with like social distancing or limited numbers. And it was the show Good For You, I believe. It was its return, which was a legendary New York City show for a long time. Um, Shout out to Eric Schmidt, one of my
Yeah,
favorite
this
people.
was at Gold Sounds Bar.
Yeah.
I don't think they did it there for that long,
No,
but
no.
it was fun.
It was. It
Yeah.
was. It was it felt so good to be uh back on stage.
Yeah, I do love these photos. There's like a time of year where you can get a really cool night sky
Yeah,
that's sort of like navy blue around dusk. I love it so much. And I do remember that I was so excited that you were outside right at that time. And I was
yeah.
like, we're going to do a photo. We're going to do my photo. This is a favorite lighting. Yeah.
I
Yep.
love when I see you excited to take pictures. It makes me feel like I'm like, "Oh, she likes me. I'm one of Mindy's favorites, and I know it." Love being one of Mindy's favorites. And this is my buddy Charlie Dawson. He was one of my sort of like pandemic buddies that I spent a lot of time with. I don't know if you were here in New York. Were you?
Yeah, we were,
Yeah.
but it was very annoying for a year or two there because Pat and I posted photos of like we went away for a little while, like a couple of weeks
Yeah.
to the river
Sure.
and hung out there. But like we were in the city, Pat was working.
Oh my God.
We were in
Same.
our tiny apartment.
Ah.
And it's especially like a little turn of the knife for people to be like, oh, because for like a year
Mhm.
after COVID, people were like, oh, I thought you moved.
Shut the fuck up.
And I'm like, well, the reason why that was so annoying
Yeah.
was that what I was doing on March 13th, 2020,
God.
I took out the first comedy hard drive,
Wow.
and those earliest photos were not uploaded high res
Mhm.
online
Okay.
because the earliest photos are from 2006. And in 2006,
My God, that's 20 years ago. Sorry. What?
yeah.
Continue. Oh my God.
So at that time, you couldn't upload
Uh-huh.
super high res stuff. There weren't companies that had the
Oh,
data storage for
I
that.
see.
The internet wasn't fast enough to handle that.
Yeah.
And so there's a certain point in the archives where straight out of camera stuff that's been safe in the cloud for like 10 years, 15 years.
Yeah.
But there's an era of work
That's so scary.
where the only part of it that exists is like 4x6 at 72 DPI.
Yeah.
And I've known it was a problem,
Mhm.
and I was always so busy, and there was never a moment to like tackle that problem.
Sure.
Also, at the very beginning, it wasn't like I said to myself, I'm gonna start an archive. Today it's day one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was like I was trying to go out and be better a better photographer than I was the week prior.
Mhm.
That's all I was trying to do. And I would go home, I would find a couple of photos that I liked. I would send them to my friend Carol, who would like ask me for coverage of her show. But I was just sending them in an email to her. She knew who was on the show.
Mhm.
So I wasn't labeling the photos in order to try to find them later
Okay.
because I had no sense of
What the fuck you're about to do?
people will want to. I had no sense of that.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I knew it was a problem. And when we all went into lockdown, I just literally started at day one, named everything appropriately, uploaded it in the highest res available to the back end of the website. And I did it every day I just approached it like a full-time job, and I just did it for like 8 hours every day.
The attention span of that is phenomenal.
Well, I almost went cuckoo bananas
Of
with it.
course.
And what I did was like I walked the Williamsburg Bridge every day.
Yeah.
Like I would like walk into Manhattan.
Mhm.
No one was there.
No one was there.
I would turn around, go back to
It was
Williamsburg,
insane. It was
and
insane.
then data entry on the archives again
Yep.
for several hours. And Pat would just look over sometimes, and I'm just like crying
Oh,
because I
really?
found like someone who's no longer with us in the archives, and there's a photo I didn't know I had. And so this project that we're doing all together now, if I'm gonna do a book,
Yeah.
I will not be doing it lockdown style where I'm by myself in the
Handle
archives.
that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
That was like a one-time phenomenon. But it was so painful because I was doing this really specific thing. I felt kind of like for all of our
Yeah, you do so much for our
benefit.
community. It's crazy.
And so it's like I didn't feel it was appropriate to like be at shows.
Yeah, it was a weird time.
Right?
I didn't
Like
perform for a long time.
so I was like trying to do this thing that
Yeah.
I felt like we all needed to do, and then people saw me and were like, "Oh, you moved, right?"
Oh, were you just like having around, like having fun, hanging out, and you're like, I'm a comedy historian. You idiots.
Pat was around a couple of times when somebody said it to my face, and he and I both just looked at each other
Yeah.
like, and we haven't, and it's all because I posted a photo, I think a couple of photos of us in like nature.
Sure. Which also, by the way, there was this like stank on people like going elsewhere, leaving the city. I was like, let them leave. What is this? Like, I'm a long-term New Yorker. I've been here for a very long time. I've been through some hard historic moments in New York City, and I have a pride in being able to handle that. And I feel like I really grew as a person. Also, we don't all have to suffer constantly. There's this like fetishizing of like, oh, I was by the body trucks. I'm like, I wish I wasn't by the body trucks. I would love to go upstate. I'm so glad you got to go into nature. What is this fucking weird
We went upstate
valor?
we went upstate for like such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And then the crime that I did was I The crime that I did was I posted a photo
Oh,
of it.
God.
And then the other part of it is the algorithm's fault. I
Yeah.
posted a photo of our wedding.
I remember this. I remember being so happy.
And the wedding was in Alabama.
Yeah.
Because newsflash, I'm from there.
Yeah.
And,
Yeehaw.
and then yet again, then all over again, people were like, "So you've moved?
Yes. So you're like a
like, have you
trad wife now.
Have you
Yeah.
guys heard of planes
Oh
and
my
how you
God.
take them for special events?" But I blame the algorithm
Yeah.
because the algorithm showed people a photo of Pat and I yet again in nature
Sure.
because we did bridal portraits in
Yeah.
the backyard of the church,
They're
right?
beautiful photos. I remember.
And then the algorithm didn't show anyone a photo that I took for like 6 months,
Yeah. Oh,
right?
really?
Because they're hiding us all from each
Yeah.
other.
Oh, don't get me started, brother. It's a fucking nightmare out
Yeah.
there.
And so I do think I've tried not to take it personally.
Mhm.
And obviously that question hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah.
But I do think it was a mix of algorithm stuff
Yeah.
because I was posting shows in New York
Mm-hmm. Were you
for
in that the show that had like the pizza truck and it was behind the creek?
yes.
Yes, that was like the first kind of big show I went, and I remember being so happy to see you
Yeah.
and being like, I feel kind of normal.
So so we may have a photo. I don't think those are captioned.
Okay, wow.
So we may have a photo of you missing. So there's several notes for the archives from this. I
Yeah.
feel like we've actually done some work. We
Yeah.
gotta recaption the you as Lizzie photo.
Yeah.
There's a photo from 2020 that's probably not captioned somewhere.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
sure my eyes are dead in that photo. I'm sure I look like I'm whacked out of my mind with fear.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you did you work on comedy in that time, or was that when you were like, you know what, I'm gonna start a podcast studio? Did the plan for that kind of start around that time?
Um, I was doing outdoor shows. I was sort of I didn't go to anything for a while. I'm like a very anxious person, so I was like, I'm not. And I'm also like, I'm not like passing COVID along to a nurse because I have to go do an open mic. Like people are so
It's bad karma.
absolutely disgusting during that time period. But so I was podcasting at the time, working at Keith and the Girl. We were all figuring out like remote podcasting. This actually really kind of changed podcasting in a way this era, and it ushered in a big way video,
Yeah.
which is changed everything. And I remember during this time I started teaching myself video editing because I was seeing clips from Are You Garbage? I was seeing video podcasts and I was seeing the way people were interacting with them. And I'd seen it was happening before that, but I went, you have to know this. And I've seen you pivot online too, where like you have videos and you have sort of like cool, like moving image stuff. And then I feel like we all as artists have to evolve to now have this skill set in addition to our art. And as much as I like resented that for a while, I was just like, you have to evolve. You need to learn, you know, once you stop doing that, you're dead. So the pandemic was cool artistically in terms of the skills I built during that time. Um, but yes, the wheels were turning in terms of like the technical skills. And I'm like, one day I can do this and I want to do more of this. And my projects have to include this. So that was sort of the beginning of this chapter of podcasting, stand up, all of it. Video has changed everything.
Yeah.
Here we are recording a video, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a big changes that time period for sure.
Yeah.
And red sweatsuits and red boots. Oh my God. Yep. Oh, and here we are again. 51st jokes, the red boots. She's back.
So I believe this is 51st jokes. I'm gonna say it's 2022.
Yep. Looking like this was my moody black coat. I was really getting into my mojo as the edgy philosophy comedian. This is actually one of my favorite photos that you've taken of me as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is the jawline of it all in this photo. Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, Andrea, we have a whole other box to do. And, I feel like uh, because you're someone who's been around podcasting for a while,
Mhm.
and because you're someone who's been around for like the changes in the structure of shows in the
Mhm.
city, I feel like you're someone that we want to have in for more than one episode.
I'm in love.
Feel like as people react to the podcast, I feel like maybe they're gonna have some questions.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm like, let's have like a little panel of people who drop back in every now and then and like update us on things. So we're gonna leave off at 2022,
Wow.
even though we see each other for a very cool event.
Yeah.
Is our next thing that would. But anyway,
Oh my God.
um,
Cliffhanger.
yeah.
Subscribe, people. Teasing. Very cool event coming up. Wow. This is so
all right,
amazing.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me, Mindy.
I'm taking pictures of you. I'm taking pictures of everything. A woman likes to run